welcome back to the 611 Films channel. My name is David Groves, and with me as always,
Neil McKay. What is happening?
What is happening? We're back in 99.
Another horror movie.
Japanese horror.
Yeah. Well, this is interesting because this is, I think, most of our. I mean, this maybe there was another one or two we do, but this is like one of the only foreign ones that Japan. What was going on in Japan in '99 versus what was going on in the States. Very different, I mean, you have we're breaking these things up into themes, each month is a particular, and we're kind of connecting the dots of like, well, you have a common thread with 99 movies, but
sure,
we're in Japan now. And it's a totally different ball game, over there.
And the movie's called Audition. Just FYI, we haven't said that just yet.
Oh yeah.
They'll notice it by the thumbnail, I'm sure.
I know, they'll see the little title at the bottom.
Yeah,
but
I'll have the thumbnail in there that says, but and, we're talking about Audition. Takashi
and the reason Takashi Miike, and I only bring that up because I saw something like in the thing where somebody says something about a recession. I was like, oh, that's interesting. And I looked it up, and they were at the very they had gone through like a decade-long recession at that point. They call it the lost decade. So while things were economy was good in the U.S. and we had our own things going on, Japan was kind of like feeling the hurt. So.
But there's a scene kind of at the beginning when they're at the bar, and he does say something to the effect of Japan's done, Japan's over, or something like that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Right, yeah. Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and there was something to mention of recession. So we were kind of flying high, I guess, in the 90s, and some of these movies that we'll be doing were kind of this like anyway, we'll get into all that, but yeah, I just found it interesting. Like, oh yeah, Japan had their own problems, and these were kinds of themes.
Hey, I didn't know that. I did not know that
in their movie.
Well, I mean, a lot of people. I mean, it's 99. It's older. It's been out there for forever. We might say spoilers. Just another thing.
Spoiler alert.
But just to kind of recap, like there's a man who lost his wife with
the vomit is real. Sorry.
That actually might. Yeah, that might be something. I've heard some.
I've heard. I'm like, is that no?
I think it's funny to like just say, yeah, I heard that too, and certain behind the scenes with stuff towards the end, but just the very quickest of plot recaps or whatever. I'll just say like it's about a man who I guess is in kind of the media TV industry. He lost his wife. He has a small son. 7 years later, it skips to him, the teenage son, now saying, Dad, you should find a wife. You should find someone to be with. So he talks to his producer friend, and they say, why don't we set up a fake kind of like movie or TV show audition? And then you could find all these women and sort of use that as a way to find a next wife. They go through that process. It's a very slow burn of a movie, wildly slow. But then he finds someone very good looking, old, or not old, but she was in ballet. And
he was old. She was
old.
Like half his age.
A little younger.
I mean,
right.
Which I guess is him fine. A very sympathetic character, but what he's doing is creepy. I mean, he's going after women that are half his age. It's all staged. It's all BS. It's all a lie, and it's very much like, and
it's like a good intentioned idea that a romantic comedy could have built itself on years ago, but now it's like in the age of the Harvey Weinstein, all this crap coming out with Hollywood about casting couches and.
It's got a whole new meaning now, but you're right. It's funny because if you did this as a romantic comedy, like it would totally work. And it's like so like wait a minute, what? This guy's like lying to all these. I mean, it's just so anyway. Miike is kind of denied that. It's like we're doing like these themes of like misogyny or like this is what it's like the payoff for the woman getting the revenge of the man. Like he's kind of I think stayed clear of that, but there's definitely like you mess around and you find out what happens when because there were little things sprinkled in like which I thought was interesting where it was like maybe he was like having sex with all the people auditioning like the weird because it was all a dream sequence, you didn't know what was real, but there was things where it was like wait a minute, like he was getting fellatio from like his like secretary, and then it's like, what the hell, is this real or is this a dream?
Yeah,
And
I was going to ask
very
you
like,
about
oh,
that. Yeah, there was, and there
it,
is like the very end of the movie, which does a dream sequence to like the middle part of the movie, which I feel like I'm still unsure of. So basically, they go off for the weekend to this resort type hotel place. They have sex, but Asami is showing scars. Basically, the idea is that she was a ballet. She was probably, I can't say the word, but SA, the teacher that did all that, this guy that played piano for them, um, and then it within the last parts of the movie, it goes to that. So just to jump right in, is that? I mean, I don't understand that dream sequence. I still don't think I get it. And I saw it. I've seen it twice. I saw this movie like 6-7 years ago and then just rewatched it, but I'm still unsure of what the point of that
and weirdly enough, I just saw this for the first time 2 days ago.
So, yeah.
Like I've not to get off topic, but I guess I've kind of avoided it because I always knew it was in that torture porn realm, even though before torture porn was even a thing. It was before it was in a thing. And I kind of avoided it for that because I'm not into that thing. But I'm glad I watched it because because it's not like the U.S. version of torture porn where it's just like, I just kill people. This was very much a story with a
James Wan. James Wan could have taken some stuff with the foot. Like he might have seen it. Or like, I mean, there is that idea.
Eli Roth, who did Hostel, said this movie inspired him to do that movie. So. But but that's the thing. It's not. I'm glad. I mean, there was a story. There was a lot of stuff going on. I found very much like this guy felt very David Lynch for me. Like we've seen some weird movies that Mike has done. Like, or at least I have. Visitor Q was some weird movie that I saw years ago. But he does a lot of weird stuff where I'm like, oh, this is so cool. Like it's very dreamlike and very David Lynchian kind of stuff.
Right.
And but getting back to your thing, I kind of took it as like it was all real. Well, actually, no. And I take that. I don't know. I mean, it could have been all just him scared to death of like what these women were going to do in retribution once they found out that the audition was BS, or it could have been real. And this woman was crazy. And then he had this like moment where he was dreaming that it was all a dream, but that was BS.
Right.
But it was just very. Yeah, there was a lot to dissect and unpack there, really.
Yeah, and the way that Korean and Japanese and other horror films do it, it is a touch on society. It's a touch on the way things are. It's character driven, or it's it's a lot of that stuff instead of just the flash of the pans. Like we just need that quick buck.
Oh, and speaking of jump scares, this had one of the most effective ones I've ever seen with her. Yeah. It's her waiting by the phone, and I'm And anyway, so I mean, I'm sure spoilers.
Don't want to spoil that.
It was like and it's funny to see the YouTube like comments of like people talking about the movie, and I guess it's like to this day people are jumping out of their skin. Anyway.
All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. Back in '99, we'll be back with another one, a double feature for our last one in October. We'll be doing other horror films in '99, of course. But if you like this, please like, subscribe, comments about these movies, and we'll see you on the next one.